Boruto chapter 55 left us all grieving, and rightfully so. Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, a character a lot of us have known since early childhood, died. Baryon mode, the last-ditch effort to stop Ishiki, worked. However, in exchange for that victory, Kurama has died. Now, Naruto himself and all of us were led to believe the cost of Baryon mode would be Naruto's life and subsequently Kurama's life as well. This would have been awful. I would have still cried probably, but there's something about Kurama going away alone that just hits differently. I can't even really explain it. I went into that chapter thinking I was ready for the worst, and yet here I am, weeks later, still recovering from it. I'm literally lost for words. But we do need to move forward, and so let's talk about the future of Kurama and Naruto. More specifically, their future apart, because Kurama is not coming back, guys. Before we go any further, allow me to remind you that if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the Plot Armor with notifications on for more Boruto content. We upload almost daily and would love to have you join in on our discussions. With that said, let's get into it. Alright, so Kurama had intentionally deceived Naruto into believing Baryon mode would essentially take them both out. Reason being, he knew Naruto would most likely turn down this plan even if it were their only option. Kurama's life was instead the cost of this all or nothing plan, something Naruto would never approve of. Remember, Naruto is not the kind of person to sacrifice anyone. Their final moments together was sad. Could it have been portrayed better? Yes, but it was still sad. And I'm usually not one to be overly critical, but I will say, considering the fact that this was most likely their final moments together, I do wish it was executed better. I would have liked more reminiscing, a longer, more heartfelt conversation. Kurama and Naruto are both not the best speakers, however, if there was ever a moment to break out of their norms, it should have been right then and there. The Boruto anime does add things and expand on the story, so I wouldn't put it past them to make this scene greater. Again, it was good. I would have just liked more considering the gravity of the situation. Now, before we get into the details and lore behind why Kurama will not return, I think it's important to at least touch on the plot reasons. Basically the reason Naruto is losing his plot armor privileges. Pun intended. Alright, so this is Boruto, the story of Naruto's next generation. This is not Naruto or Naruto Shippuden. The goal of this story is to have Boruto as the main character, his adventures and struggles with all things ranging from the karma to his relationship with Kawaki. Of course, initially, all fans of the Boruto series were simply fans of the Naruto series that moved on to the sequel, and that's how it had to be. However, to further appeal to this old audience, Naruto had to be a big part of the story. After all, that's who we know and love. We didn't give a damn about this new character named Boruto being sold to us, and so we had things like the big fight against Momoshiki and Kinshiki, where Naruto saves the village and then puts in work during the fight at the end. And there are other examples of this same thing. Naruto and Sasuke, let me not have you guys thinking I forgot him, have carried the story up to this point. Yes, Boruto as an individual has had his moments, but the biggest moments have been Naruto and Sasuke. Something has changed though, from the beginning of the story to now. Fans have warmed up to Boruto as a character. Through his bigger moments and literal character development, Boruto has now become likable. He's not that whiny kid from the beginning of the series anymore. And on top of that, the final point here is that Boruto is strong enough now. Let's be honest here. Would you really want to go from Naruto and Sasuke versus Madara and then Kaguya to Boruto learning basic ninjutsu? We did do that to an extent, especially if you watch the anime, but it wasn't as extreme as it could have been thanks to having Naruto and Sasuke around to remind us of what the combat in this world is like at the highest level. Boruto is not at the highest level, but he knows a lot of jutsu. He's now close to using the karma at will, and we might be soon looking at a time skip where we see more power-ups. So yeah, Boruto is capable now. He can lead in the top tier fights, and if you disagree with that, then I think you can at least agree with it happening very soon. So put bluntly, the story no longer needs Naruto for it to be entertaining. The plan worked. I can't tell you how many times throughout the years there was a rush of old Naruto fans jumping back onto the Boruto bandwagon because of Naruto and Sasuke. We literally saw Naruto reaching for Kurama, his past, but instead grabbing hold of his son. It's time for the story to really become what it was intended to be. Boruto, Naruto's next generation. Now onto the lore and more factual reasons Kurama will not be coming back. A long time ago, the tail beasts were created by splitting the 10 tails into 9 living creatures. They were created not only to basically take the 10 tails out of existence, but to create balance in the world. something that would be accomplished to an extent forcibly when Hashirama captured them and gave them to the various villages. Now, one thing about these tailed beasts is they cannot die. And now you might be thinking, well then, Kurama should be coming back, right? But no, it's not that simple. It's pretty simple, but not that simple. The reason tailed beasts usually cannot die is because they are pure chakra. Once a tailed beast dies, eventually, they will reappear in nature. An example of this is when Rin became a Jinchuriki and was killed while being host of the third tailed beast. Rin, well, of course, unfortunately for Obito, did not come back to life. However, the three tails did eventually return. How long this takes is unknown. However, the issue with Kurama is that his chakra was literally consumed for the Baryon mode. It would basically burn until it ran out. I really don't even want to get into the details of Baryon mode too much, but yes, the point is his chakra was consumed. While I don't hate Baryon mode, it would just been nice to have a more impressive final form. But I digress. Kurama's chakra was consumed. He literally told Naruto goodbye, and to be careful or he would end up on the other side with him. Meaning, whatever awaits in death. Kurama is familiar with Tail Beast's rebirth. I'm sure he didn't sleep through the third tail dying and then later reappearing. He knew this moment with Naruto would be his last. Would I love to have him back? Yes, of course. He wouldn't be taken from the story though, for no reason. It isn't a coincidence that he left the story at the same time as the Rinnegan of Sasuke. This is the end of a generation. Kurama was the sacrifice. Based on what we know, Kurama will not be coming back. However, it wouldn't surprise me if somehow he returned in his smaller form and served as somewhat of a little mascot for Naruto. I absolutely do not think we'll see Kurama and Naruto team up again. If he comes back in little form as a mascot type of character though, it'll be through some new type of thing we've never heard about. For example, the other tail beasts coming together to make some kind of magic happen. I'm for it, but man, it sucks knowing we won't ever see what we saw in the war again. But it is what it is. And we can focus now on Boruto, hoping he takes us to heights similar or greater than we've been. With that said, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed and didn't cry too much. As always, share your thoughts in the comments so we can discuss further, and be sure to drop a like to let us know you enjoy this type of content. Lastly, be sure to subscribe to Plot Armor with notifications on to never miss an upload. We upload almost daily, and we'd love to have you join in on our discussions. And for even more content, check out our Patreon link in the description below. Until next time, keep that Plot Armor on you. I'm KJ. Have a great day. Bye.